All right, so Microsoft has purchased ZeniMax Media, which is the parent company of Bethesda game software and all their other IP that falls under ZeniMax. So, what does that mean? Well, this pretty much means that all Bethesda games going forward will be exclusive to the Xbox and PC, except with some exceptions, and we don't know what those exceptions are. So yeah, let's go into the deal. So yes, Xbox purchased ZeniMax Media for $7.5 billion, which is about 3 million more than Disney purchased Star Wars from LucasArts, and about what 4 billion more than what Microsoft paid for Minecraft from Mojang. So wow, that's put that in perspective. That's insane. This is a huge deal. The fact that it's bigger than Star Wars, I mean, like holy shit. So what does that really mean? What happened here? So Xbox's studios they grew by eight first party studios here, and the studios that they have picked up is Arcane, Machine Games, ZeniMax Publishing, right? Yeah, Bethesda GameWorks, id, Tango Gameworks, Alpha Dog, and Roundhouse. So some of those obviously sound familiar, and the games, some of the big IP that was bought with this is Dishonored, Wolfenstein, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Doom, Starfield, The Evil Within, and Prey. So those are all heavy hitters, and I'm sure you watching this video, it's like probably a fan of one of these franchises. I can say I'm honestly a fan of virtually all the games I have listed from here, right? So going forward, this also includes all the new games they'll be making and new IP. So Microsoft actually does own Deathloop and Tokyo Ghostwire, which is funny because both of those games are in a 1 year exclusivity deal with PlayStation for PS5, and those deals are confirmed to still be they're still going on. So that's pretty funny that Microsoft is publishing two exclusives on the PlayStation 5 to put that out there. But yeah, so this is amazing stuff for if you're a PC gamer, this is just great for you because this also includes Game Pass. So Game Pass is Netflix for games. If you don't know that, it's like $10 on PC, and you can get a PC and Xbox Pass bundled together for $15, right? So it's already an incredible deal because you get as Netflix for games. So now all Bethesda games will be on Game Pass day one when they release for new ones, and then we don't know at what exact date, but they're adding all old Bethesda games to Game Pass. So you can just like maybe later today at the recording, that's September 21st here. You could potentially just play Doom, Fallout, Skyrim, all that fun stuff on your PC or Xbox One right now. So that's incredible for gamers for such a good deal. So yeah, Game Pass, awesome. This is great for Game Pass. The only person this is like not great for is if you were only going to afford like a PS5 for your upcoming next generation console, and if you were just like PS5 only, like so if you had a PC, this wouldn't matter to you. This is probably just a good deal overall. I mean, these games get more support. But for PS5 owners going forward, this could be bad for you. Just because, like, as they said earlier, these games will be go by case-by-case basis if they will be exclusive or not. So, we have seen Xbox do some partnerships with Nintendo. For like the most recent one from last week was Ori and the Blind Forest 2, and they already did Ori and the Blind Forest 1 for the Switch. And like Cuphead came to everything. It did come to PlayStation, I think about like 2 to 3 years later as the last thing. It even was in Tesla cars before it was on PlayStation. So, you know, it's funny to look at that. So yeah, there's a lot going on here with this deal. And honestly, it's pretty crazy. And like, if we really dive into it, if like you were buying a console and you have the PS5 or Xbox Series X, and those are your two options, you don't have a PC, you really have a lot to consider right now. Already Game Pass is an incredible deal for Xbox, right? And you can't beat that deal. And PlayStation really, they have like some sort of deal with Plus where you get like 15 or so high profile PlayStation games included with your Plus subscription, which is, I mean, it's a good deal, but I mean, Game Pass is new games day one from Xbox. Like straight up, like Halo Infinite day one, including your Game Pass subscription. Yes, you need your subscription to keep playing it, but it's only $10 a month. Great deal. Like it's impossible to beat that at this point. And PlayStation said they had no plan to do a Game Pass type of thing. So I mean, there's that. But like, we really think about it. Okay, Elder Scrolls Fallout. Those are like the two biggest Western RPGs out there in all reality, right? And Microsoft has already purchased Obsidian, which was another massive Western RPG studio, and they're making Fable. So now they have four massive IP for Western RPGs. They essentially have the entire market locked down on Western RPGs. So if you like Western RPGs, you sort of have to get an Xbox if you were a console only player. And that's just the reality of it. I mean, yeah, we don't know if like maybe PlayStation will get Elder Scrolls 6 or the new Fallout. Like, as I said, there's exceptions. But in the reality though, if they are, you'll still be paying $70 day one for these games. And yeah, $70 because that's what games cost now, 70. While on Xbox you'd be paying $10 to get these brand new games. Yes, technically you don't own it. You're paying a subscription for a license. But hey, how long are you really going to play this game for, right? You probably played a game for a month or two. $20 in reality. And you got all these other games included in that. So you're not just playing that as well. Like sort of an unbeatable deal. And I'm going to say this, I'm a huge PlayStation guy. I used to be a PlayStation fanboy. Now I'm sort of agnostic, but PlayStation's definitely like still my go-to for first-party games. But like, yeah, that's just insane with Western RPGs. And then we'll talk about first-person story games. So you have like for FPSs, right? So Halo's already owned by Xbox. So Halo's like big, monumental, you know, like maybe not like it's not as good as it was before, but it's still Halo brand recognition. But now you get Doom. Doom is phenomenal. Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal are phenomenal games. Then you get Wolfenstein, another phenomenal FPS. And in my opinion, these are the two best FPSs on the market for a single player game. Like straight up, like they can't be topped. And Bethesda really had a lock on this, and now Microsoft straight up has. I mean, you can make arguments for the Western RPG. There's like other ones, but now there's just like I can't really think of anything else for a single player FPS games. And then like if you wanted first person sort of action games where like, you know, like a BioShock type of game, you have Dishonored, you have Prey, and you have, well, once the exclusivities deal is over with PlayStation, you have Deathloop, and those are all owned by Xbox at this point. Crazy. And then, you know, oh, also going back to Western RPG, Starfield, you have Starfield coming, and then the next Elder Scrolls, which already was announced. Like, this is so insane. And last but not least, now they have a lock on horror with The Evil Within and the Deathwire Tokyo. Like, what? Who else makes horror games at this point? Konami's dead. You have Resident Evil. Outside of Resident Evil, no one else is making AAA horror games. So Xbox is probably the best place, or Xbox and of course PC is gonna be the best place to play horror games, Western RPGs, and single player story FPS games. That's a wide range of gamers right there. And of course, this is all happening the day before Xbox Series X pre-orders go out. Like the marketing genius on this move, on announcing it, is monumental. I think it may shift the tide over to Xbox. I don't think it will necessarily hurt PlayStation. I think a lot of people will still be buying a PlayStation, but I think a lot of people are getting a PlayStation and a new Xbox as well. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely gonna be some people who switch over. Like, I don't blame them either. If Bethesda was your company, like, yeah, like they made it easy. They made it easy for you. You know, they just chose for you. But I mean, hey, Sony still has a bunch of first party exclusives that I'm super excited for. I mean, God of War Ragnarok, you got Horizon Forbidden West, you got, I mean, Demon's Souls, you got Ratchet and Clank, like, you got a bunch. Sony already had a lot of studios, I think, and I may be incorrect, 15 or 16 first party studios, but now Xbox is at 23. Is there anything PlayStation could do to get back at Xbox here? They couldn't purchase anything on the same level as Bethesda here. I mean, like, there's just straight up, like, nothing. This deal's insane. $7.5 billion. I think Sony's revenue doesn't even come close to that. So like that's insane. I mean, speculation, I think Sony will be creating more first party studios, and if anything, I think they'll try to buy IP from Konami. But there's not a lot of third party things they can buy that would even remotely close. I'm not even Konami or. Yeah, I mean, and Capcom, that's a stupid idea. That will never do that. Capcom costs way too much. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything Sony can really do about this. I hope PlayStation does something cool in the future. But, right now Xbox is definitely taking a major prize, and I really can't think of a bigger gaming moment than this for the industry. This is insane. And they said they're not going to cut any jobs or anything, so that's great for the Bethesda employees. Well, guys, I really appreciate you watching my breaking down of the Xbox Bethesda deal. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe to my channel. I look forward to covering more gaming news in the near future with you. And I'll catch you guys later, and peace out.